That's fine. That's fine. So, hello everyone. I have Ekta Sakthi with me as of now in this particular podcast. And by the way, she's a head of content at the social company. So, Ekta, I would like to ask you few questions, but before that, just just to make you a bit comfortable and have a normal conversation. So, how's everything going?
It's going good.
Hmm.
Been a bit sick, but yeah,
Yeah,
I'm doing
yeah.
much better now.
Yeah, yeah. Like I've been hearing like almost everyone is getting fever, cold, and stuff like that. I don't know if it's flu or something like that, but okay. Anyways, take care. So I would be asking you five questions, and the reason behind that is pretty simple. As you are a head of content and you have been working on your personal brand on LinkedIn as well. So because of all of that, I feel there are a lot of people who are trying to build a personal brand on LinkedIn, but they are not able to do it because of some reasons. I don't know that, and we are going to get deeper onto it by asking questions. So the first question that I want to ask you is, for people who are just starting out on LinkedIn, uh, what are some tips that you can give them so that they won't ever run out of content?
So, the content creation process
Right.
itself should be loved first. It shouldn't be like a work for you to get up and post every day. So, in order to make it more loved or give that more human feeling to it, because at the end of the day, it's your personal branding, right? So, what you can do is maybe to ease out your whole process of writing content, you can have 3 to 5 set content pillars. Like, I wouldn't deviate from these content pillars whatsoever,
Hmm.
and my all of my content, whatever I post on this platform, is going to be
Hmm.
about this. So once you set those 3 to 5 content pillars for yourself, you are
Hmm.
sorted for content. You wouldn't be finding कि अरे मुझे क्या post करना है. You
Right.
won't have that
Some.
thought in mind. And the
Hmm.
second point that I would tell you is you can document your daily accomplishments. It can be
Right.
very small too. Like
Right.
I document a very small thing. Like if I'm having a feeling or I'm down that day,
Hmm.
and I just feel like I want to put this for to people
Hmm.
that health matters more than work, then I
Hmm.
document it and I make sure that I talk about it on my LinkedIn. So
Right.
that's the small thing that I write it down, because my brain cannot keep everything, right? The brain,
Hmm.
there's already a lot of work, a
Right.
lot of schedules, to do list
Right.
going on in your brain.
Hmm.
So these things, until and unless we dig it out or spend a lot of time thinking, it's not going to come to us upright.
Hmm.
So it's better to have a pen and paper, or maybe you can even write it digitally, have a notes
Hmm.
app or something, and you can write it there. So these two are the best ways to overcome that fear of like, I don't have anything to post on LinkedIn.
Right. Right. And one more thing I wanted to ask, as you mentioned that you document your feelings also. So what I want to ask about that is there are lots of people who think that they should just stick to a particular niche and just talk about related to the services they provide. Okay. And they are pretty strategic that they should just talk about professional things and not talk about things that are that comes personally. It's personal to some extent. Okay. Because they
Mhm.
think that LinkedIn is a work related platform and they shouldn't express their feelings as such and everything. So what do you have to say on that, and how do you think expressing yourself as a human being impact your personal brand?
Okay. So the name itself, it's not professional branding, it's
Right.
personal branding.
Right.
So when you tell that, it's the whole idea of personal branding is to put forth yourself, your real self out there on any social media platform given that. Here we choose LinkedIn. So in that LinkedIn, a job platform, we hear a lot of things, HRs, there'll be a lot of HRs, there'll be a lot of job goers. But right now, that's changing. That would be a scenario if you'd asked me in 2018. But right now in 2022, you'd see a lot of content creators, a lot of founders, a lot of entrepreneurs coming up on LinkedIn wanting to share their experiences because they've done a lot in their actual life, not over social media. They haven't shared it yet. So people around them, the 50 people around them would know their best, would know that person. But in a social media presence, no one would have known like they had such an experience or they met such a person. So LinkedIn, as in personal branding, gives you that way. And if you don't take that opportunity of sharing
Hmm.
your personal experiences to
Hmm.
people, then I don't think you can relate to your audience at all. Because
Right.
even if you're giving your services, it's very bad to just sell yourself. Like
Hmm.
sell your services in place of selling yourself. Instead, you should position yourself. You position yourself better and expert in that field, or
Hmm.
the more you speak about yourself, the more you speak about what you do, that's
Hmm.
when the positioning happens over LinkedIn. That's when people think like, हाँ यार ये established है इस field पे.
Right.
He is very very experienced in this field. If I go to him,
Hmm.
he'll give me a good service.
Got it.
So that's
Got it.
when that connection itself happens. So if you just come on LinkedIn to, I'm selling my services, I'm pitching out my
Hmm.
consultations, I'm pitching out my free book and everything, it's not going to
Hmm.
work. At the first
Right.
place, why did you have a free ebook? Why are you open for consultation? You
Hmm.
have to share your audience. Only then they have an idea whether to take it up or not.
Right. 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 Got it. Okay. And I have seen that you have been creating content on LinkedIn as well for quite some time. And I wanted to ask, like, what does your content creation process look like?
I've been on LinkedIn for it's been more than 2 years right now. But as a
Hmm.
content creator and building my personal brand, it's been
Hmm.
just 8 months or something.
Got
So
it.
in this whole process, I've gone a lot of up and forth and everything. There's a lot
Hmm.
of backlogging too. I
Hmm.
started with nothing. I didn't set any content pillars. I just went with the flow. I used to go with the flow, posting whatever I wanted. But
Hmm.
then I started to have some content pillars for myself, as I said in the first point. Having those 3 to 5 content pillars for yourself makes you like sorted out. You no need to
Hmm.
go searching for anything. And like हाँ मुझे ये 5 topics पे बात करना है, you will know that you were talking about these. And then when you think and rethink about these topics, you will itself find a lot of, like, you can get 10 topics from just one content pillar if you
Right.
sit down and think for 10 minutes. So
Hmm.
that's your content process is sorted that time.
Hmm.
And mine was the same. I used to sit down and then think of topics of
Hmm.
everything and then jot it down in an Excel sheet. So I had a
Hmm.
proper Excel sheet for
Right.
everything. This date, this should go,
Hmm.
and all of that.
Right.
But
Right.
right now, I'm not having the bandwidth to like follow
Hmm.
the process. But I make sure
Right.
that I document all of these at least somewhere. Ki, haan, this post is
Hmm.
really good to go. It can
Hmm.
go sometime on my LinkedIn.
Hmm. Got it.
So
And
documenting hasn't stopped for me.
got it. Got it. And I've heard this particular advice by a lot of people actually, but what I've come across is I've seen people saying that you should document your process, but when I go to the LinkedIn profile, I see they don't follow that thing what they are saying. So what do you have to say on such people?
See, you if you don't do something, or
Hmm.
if you don't follow something, don't preach it. That's my one goal. And it's
Right.
better to stay far or not take up such knowledge from people who
Hmm.
are just having showing their fake self around
Hmm.
LinkedIn. So
Hmm.
LinkedIn is all about showing your real self. So if I follow people, I
Right.
connect with the contents that show their yourself better.
Hmm.
It can be very simple. People write very simple contents, and yet it reaches a very huge audience because they show their real self over there. They're not
Hmm.
tinkering it up. They're not putting fake stuff around, and that's what actual LinkedIn content creation should be about.
Hmm. And apart from that, there are a lot of beginner marketeers out there actually. And what they're doing is basically listening to big entrepreneurs and something like that. And they are basically learning from them. Okay. And after they have learned, uh, they don't, they, some of them I've come across, what they say is they can't say the same stuff that they have learned on LinkedIn, as it might feel like a copied thing because that person is already saying it. He has a big brand. Many people who are following that person know that that person is the only person who preaches this thing. And if I say the same, it would be like I'm copying from him. So do you think that if I let's say me, if I learned something from someone and I'm sharing it with people on LinkedIn, is that a wrong thing to do? And would it make me less authentic?
Absolutely not, because you're learning from that person. So if you would have gone to that person's profile, copy pasted his content, and posted on your profile, that's wrong. But if you're
Hmm.
learning from that content and then you're coming and seeing your point of view from what you learned, so at the end you're establishing yourself in that
Hmm.
same content idea.
Hmm.
Okay, so
Got
that's
it.
the difference it makes. You have
Got
to
it.
establish, you always when you speak, you don't speak like another person, you speak only like yourself, right?
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
at,
Hmm.
at the end of the day, even if you think like Arya, this will sound like that person, because everyone knows that content is there, theirs,
Yeah.
they speak like that. You
Hmm.
always have a tone set in your profile, whether you like it or not. When once
Right.
you come into the content creation process, there's always a tone set, a way of talking that your
Hmm.
audience is getting accustomed to with
Hmm.
each
Hmm.
piece of content that you post.
Hmm.
So at the end of the day, they will feel like you are quoting him, but you're at the
Hmm.
same time you are adding your value too on it.
Right.
So
Right.
yeah.
Right. And so I have been saying this particular thing on LinkedIn, and I'm as well, creating video contents starting just now,
Mhm.
actually. So, and in the past, actually, I have created a lot of visual contents and text formats, but I haven't gone to the video thing. I wanted to understand that that might be a lot of people as well who can't do video formats, but they really want to do. So for such people, what I want to understand is how video content has an impact when it comes to personal branding in compared to other content formats.
Okay. So right now, if you tell LinkedIn, videos go viral or go good, at
Hmm.
least to a good extent for people who already have an audience established.
Right.
So if you're starting out, then you'd have to put your thoughts in a much simpler way for your audience to first get accustomed to it, and then you can start videos. If you're already like you have a base to start with, then you can abruptly start with video. And I believe putting out more raw video, not a lot of fancy made videos. Putting out a
Right.
raw video will reach people and give that human touch to them. They can relate immediately once they see something raw, right?
Hmm.
So that's the type of video that I personally like seeing on LinkedIn, as well as I prefer uh, to my clients on the personal branding
Hmm. Hmm.
show and everything.
Got it. Got it. Damn, this almost felt like a survey, actually. This particular question. Okay. So, and apart from that, like, what do you think? Like, there are lots of people saying that you must be consistent on LinkedIn, you must post on a regular basis. Some people say
Mhm.
that you should post 6 times a day. There are some US people doing this particular maniac thing. And
Okay.
there are some people who are like, in a week, if you post 3 posts in the entire week, it's fine. And there are some people who are like, you must post 7 times a week, basically 7 days one post. So you must do that. So what I'm trying to understand is what should be the frequency? Is there some fixed frequency that people should have, or they can just post as they go?
See, the whole personal branding process, it's you making your audience know you.
Hmm.
So that's the frequency is should be set by you. It's something that you have to set. Like for me, if 4 times a week is doing good and I'm having the bandwidth to post only 4 times a week, then I'll post 4 times a week. If I
Hmm.
have the bandwidth of posting 6 times a week, then I'll post 6 times a week. So it's totally your bandwidth. But yeah, you shouldn't posting once a week is a big no. You aren't building an audience, right? You're losing out
Hmm.
on time, you're losing out
Right.
on your actual resources that's given to you if you
Hmm.
are wasting to
Hmm.
post. But it totally takes up thing. And other part that I would like to discuss over here is in the run of being consistent and everything, I
Hmm.
find many content creators losing out on health, losing
Right.
out on taking care of themselves and having to spend that me time for themselves. Like I have to post for tomorrow, I cannot take my leisure time today.
Hmm.
So behind consistency, you shouldn't ruin your health. That's the main goal that should you should actually be setting
Hmm.
while your whole content creation process. कि अगर
Hmm.
my health is not proper, I'm not able to
Hmm.
post, ठीक है, don't post. But
Hmm. Hmm.
yeah, obviously engaging is something that you're going and speaking to that person
Hmm.
when you're engaging. So
Right.
people have made the whole personal branding something like you have to engage, you have to do this, you have to do that, but they
Hmm.
fail to tell them the why. Only when
Right.
you tell like why you should engage, why you should post, what happens after that, you give them a
Hmm.
clear way, only then they will able be able to choose कि हाँ मुझे ऐसा engagement चाहिए, I will do
Right.
it on my own pace. This
Hmm.
is a
Hmm. Hmm.
pace that suits me.
Got it.
So find that people run behind the other bigger creators when they tell them ki you have to post 7 times a day,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
then they push themselves to post 7 times a day.
Right.
And
Right.
at the end of the day, when they don't get any results, obviously they'll not get any results because they are not giving the time itself for their audience to take up
Hmm.
that content.
Hmm. Hmm.
So if when you're not giving your audience that time, you're not understanding your audience at the first place there.
Hmm. Hmm.
So
Got it.
consistency, health is what I put health first and then consistency, because other than that, it's no go. See, I don't
Hmm.
post one day on LinkedIn, no one is gonna come and ask me कि क्यों post नहीं किया है.
Hmm.
I know that I haven't posted and I know I'll be posting later on.
Yeah.
But now
Hmm.
I prioritize my health over a social media platform,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm. Hmm.
So
Hmm.
that's what matters.
Hmm. And
That's the understanding we have.
got it, got it. And apart from that, actually, like even I myself have faced this particular issue when it came to content creation, because at certain point of time, when you, let's say, you have created content for the 2 weeks or 3 weeks of time, okay, and you have been posting for 2 to 3 weeks, and now it's sort of an habit for you, okay, and at certain point of time you start feeling like let's say 1 day or 2 day you didn't post it, and you started feeling that guilt that I think I'm missing out on something or something. That's a weird feeling to have. So how do you think, like, have you felt this before, and how did you personally deal with it?
Actually, due to my health, I haven't been posting for around 2 days now,
Hmm.
and I have been very consistent past 2 weeks. So I'm
Hmm.
having that feeling all the time.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it's all about you prioritizing, right? It's like
Hmm.
I prioritize my health for the sake of me.
Hmm.
So feeling that guilt is
Hmm.
no big thing. You
Hmm.
shouldn't be feeling that guilt actually, because you
Right,
took that decision of prioritizing, right?
right,
So
right.
posting again, engaging, meeting new people over LinkedIn can happen later on. if
Hmm.
when your health is better right now, work on getting your health better. And this isn't health.
Hmm.
Many people, you can find a lot of other uh, like problems that they're facing when like they can't post or something. Maybe the schedule is haywire and
Hmm.
they're not finding time to post and engage and everything.
Right.
It's okay if you don't
Right.
find time, because you're
Right.
focusing on much other bigger things that's going
Hmm.
on in your life. So yeah,
Got it.
the
And
main thing.
yeah, that I mean, I just when you open your LinkedIn, I mean, after every four posts or three posts, there is always someone who is saying hustle, hustle. This particular word, it's been used a lot, and because of that, I feel like there are many things going wrong because of this hustle culture, actually. Like, because many people are not at all focusing on their health, which should be the priority. Because why the hell are you earning money if you don't have a good health, a happy life? And everyone is like, no, you need to work hard, you need to hustle. There are certain big entrepreneurs like Gary Vaynerchuk, let's say. Okay, search people are always telling that you should hustle, but well, that particular guy also tells people that I do this because I like it and I can afford to do at such a huge scale, and I can work 16 hours or 17 hours a day. But if you can't do that much, don't beat yourself up, but make sure that you are working hard. At least don't cry about something that you don't have. So that's what
Mhm.
that guy preaches. But many people have this misconception that they should work 18 hours a day or 20 hours a day, and they ruin their health. So what do you have to say on that?
Okay. First, hustling is fine. Okay.
Hmm.
Till it's you are having good health. That's the same thing. I hustled, and right now I'm not in good health. So I took time to get back into good health. So
Hmm.
it's all from experiences that you learn. If when a person hustles, they take up their business or they take up some work that they are doing to a level of reaching 100%, whereas
Hmm.
they don't bring up life events, or they don't what do you say, attend to their family, or they don't attend to their own health, their own needs, and then they bring in work in the first. So that shouldn't be the case, according to me. You can work 2 hours a day, 8 hours a day, or even 18 hours a day, doesn't matter. If that's your priority, then okay, but don't forget the basic things, what a human needs at that point too. The
Hmm.
basic things is you need to take care of your health, you need to eat properly, you need to sleep properly. These are the
Right.
three things that
Of course.
you shouldn't let go, even in this 18. Man, you have
Hmm.
24 hours in a whole day. Why would you
Hmm.
work for 18 hours a day?
Exactly. And
Then you're
like,
giving yourself only like 6 hours.
hmm, 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 hmm.
So
Right.
yeah.
And I don't know. Like, I've been like, I recently had a conversation with my brother as well about this particular thing, and because what I've been thinking is, I feel that India is lot influenced by the Western culture, because this hustle word, I don't think India used it 2 to 3 years back. I never heard this word before. Like, the amount of posts and content I have been seeing now, I have never seen someone use the hustle word or side hustle and this sort of thing. I never heard that before, but I think that India is getting more influenced by the Western culture, as Western culture is more work oriented peoples, actually, when it comes to US and people like that. So do you think the same, that we are getting influenced by the Western culture, and India was not, this hustle culture was not that much in India as it is now? What do you think about it?
Okay. Uh, it's been in India for a very long time, in
Yeah.
just different forms. So
Hmm.
let me give you an example.
Hmm.
When a typical Indian, in a typical Indian family, maybe once a boy is born, what do? Go to school, go to get good marks, everything. and
Hmm.
then once you reach your boards, you have to work hard, work day and night, pass your
Right.
exams, get good marks, and then
Hmm.
again in 12th again boards, then after that get a good college. So we have been taught to run a rat race from a very young age.
Hmm.
Okay, so it's been in India for a very long time, not influenced by the Western.
Hmm.
So this hustling nature, we have to teach. There should be a way to teach these, even this, at a very young age, even these young students, that you can hustle, but know what you're doing while you're hustling.
Hmm.
If that hustle is in a good pace, like you're going to grow, you're having a startup idea and you want to become an entrepreneur and you
Yeah.
want to build something very huge, then your
Hmm.
hustling is good. But if your
Right.
hustling is to get marks, or your hustling is to get 100%, or
Hmm.
work yourself up to get a good job, a good thing, then you're
Hmm.
going the wrong way.
Right. Right.
So what hustling, the word is very known to Indians and it's very old. Maybe it's
Hmm.
used in different languages. Many
Right.
people call it the rat race, many people call it
Yeah.
different things. But the very nature of it, it's been here for a very, very long time. But we should be
Hmm.
taught what's the right thing to do in hustling.
Hmm.
So hustling is good. You're
Hmm.
growing rapidly. Hustle means
Hmm.
you're growing rapidly. But is
Yeah.
that growth fruitful to you at the first place?
Right.
At what age do you want to stop hustling? That should be thought.
Hmm.
Because I
Hmm.
want to retire by 30. Because of that, you will spend all your 20s not focusing on the things that you should be focusing on your 20s.
Right. Right.
You'll
Right.
miss out on various experiences, and then at
Yep.
30s you'll be like, I never went out, I never traveled, I never
True.
went to a hill station and spent some
Hmm.
me time. So you'll miss out
Hmm.
on a lot of things if you
True.
don't set your priorities right, if you don't have a path of
Hmm. Hmm.
hustling proper.
Hmm. Hmm.
That's what I think it's one should teach. Even the Indian parents should teach their kids, like
Yeah.
teach them this. Don't be like
Hmm.
run the rat race, get good
Right.
marks, get a good job. It's like, why do
Right.
you want a job at the first place? Should be your question, and then
Right.
work it throughout. Go back
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
you can work it out
Hmm. Hmm.
that
Hmm.
way. So yeah.
Right. Right. Well, this parent thing that you talked about, actually, I mean, I I used to think about this particular thing, like, parents are always telling their kids to have good grades and something like that, but it's because of the place where they came from, actually, and
Yeah.
nobody talks about this particular thing. Like,
Mm-hmm.
everyone is like, parents do this, parents do that, but they don't understand why they do it, why they do that. It's like, even for me, I'm 22, it's annoying a bit, actually, but I understand as well that, okay, that's the reason why they are telling me this, that it's fine, okay. And I would urge other 80, like whoever are 18, 19, 20, to understand this thing the same. Yeah, it just got me when you talked about that parents thing. So that was
Yeah.
that. And the last question that I want to ask you is, I've been posting on LinkedIn for quite a while, and what I've noticed is, when I manually post it, the reach is pretty good. But when I use some
Mm-hmm.
third-party scheduling tools, the reach is uh, pretty bad in compared to the manual results that I've got. So, what do you think about
Okay.
it?
Okay. I haven't used any
Okay,
scheduling tools because I want to personally refrain from it.
right.
Manualing, I tell you, it's just a click of, many would say it's just a click of a button. You have to go and then put your
Hmm.
content, click on the button.
Right.
But
Right.
doing that on a frequent basis, would you would get that habit, and that's the personal touch. That's the time you give to your audience. And why would
Hmm.
you use a scheduler to take away that time spent to your audience? See,
Got it.
personal branding, it's not just about posting content. Ho gaya. Now an
Hmm.
audience will build for me. Not like that. It's a human connection that you are planning on building for a long-term basis when you're building
Hmm.
a personal brand. So
Hmm.
while doing that, it's very important you for you to spend time on your audience. You
Hmm.
have to show them that you give your time. And giving your time, I spent like posting manually is that respect you give to your audience.
Got it. Got it.
So yeah.
Okay, so thank you so much for doing this. And any closing lines that you have to say? Okay, okay. So, well, it's been a really pleasure to have this conversation to you, and like I feel that this entire conversation was pretty up to the point, and I never had this structured conversation before. And thank you so much for doing this, and I hope that you get recovered by your health pretty soon.
Thank you, Saira, for first
Yep,
of all this opportunity of
yep,
bringing me into your
yep,
podcast.
yep. My
Yeah,
pleasure. Yep,
and thanks for the wishes too.
yep. Thank you.